How's it going out there, YouTubers? Cyberneticshark here with another new movie review for you. So let's get right into this review and see what I saw. So last Friday, I had the chance of doing a double feature, and I've already done one review of the first movie I saw, but I didn't do a review of the second movie I saw. Now, the second movie I saw was the awesome comedy sequel to the 2015 film, Daddy's Home, and that is Daddy's Home 2. Now, Daddy's Home 2 was a really funny film. Really good. I thought just as good as the first one, even a little bit better than the first one. I love the addition of Mel Gibson and John Lithgow as the dads of the two main characters, and it was just an all-around fun film. Now, this film was directed by Mr. Sean Anders. Now, Sean Anders has directed a couple other great films, or great comedies I feel are really good. And he's actually written and been co-writer on a whole bunch of great, comedy films. But the two films that he's actually directed and are great films, of course, are the awesome and amazing sequel, Horrible Bosses 2, which was a really good film, and super funny, and just as funny as the original. I think that film got a lot of slack for that it wasn't as funny as the first one because it was directed by a different person, but I still thought it was very well done and very interesting and not as bad as the critics were saying. Another awesome film that he directed was the awesome and amazing and super hilarious film that I just absolutely think it's probably one of the best films ever, and just super funny as well. And just so well written and just super funny. And that's the film That's My Boy with Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg, which that movie I laugh so hard at every time I watch it because it's just so stinking funny. Now, I thought Sean Anders did a really good job with Daddy's Home 2 because he did direct the first one as well. And he brought a lot more flavor and a lot more like comedy pranks to this one. And even took it a little bit to the excess in certain parts, especially with the snowblower scene. But at the same time, I thought he delivered another great comedy film with the great talents of Wahlberg and Farrell. It was a really well meshed film, and I thought Anders did a really good job. Now, this film has an all-star cast of just really awesome actors and actresses. Now, to start off this awesome and amazing cast is Mr. Mark Wahlberg himself, Mr. Boston, as I like to call him. Now, Mark Wahlberg we all recognize from, of course, the last two franchise installments of the Transformers films as Cade Yeager. But a couple films I really enjoyed him in and that thought he was really good in. Such films as the awesome and amazing film that Seth MacFarlane directed and also wrote is Ted, which I think is a super hilarious film, and even the sequel is super funny too as well. And I just loved Mark Wahlberg's character in it. It was so super funny. A few of the scenes were just super hilarious, and I thought they just meshed really well together. MacFarlane with his voiceover work for the Ted teddy bear and stuff like that. It just was super funny, and I thought it was just a really well-made film. Another great film that he was in was another Will Ferrell film that he also was in with, and that is the awesome funny film The Other Guys, which I thought was super funny, especially with the brief little bit tidbits at the beginning of the film with Samuel L. Jackson and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. That was super funny, and it just was a fun and hilarious movie. I actually had the chance of seeing that at the drive-in when it first came out, and I thought that was really fun to watch on the drive-in. But Mark Wahlberg in Daddy's Home 2 was awesome. He was the same character he was in the first film, and just even better. He was super funny, and I just really enjoyed him in general. And I just love that character of him because it's very similar to who he is in real life. And he himself is just so funny in this role, and just him being kind of like that fast talking, smooth talking type of guy. And you're just that's Wahlberg, that's Mark, that's him, But at the same time, I really enjoyed his character and his, interconnection with Will Ferrell and everyone involved, and he just really worked and meshed well with everybody. We also have in the film, of course, the awesome and funny comedian Mr. Will Ferrell himself. Now, Will Ferrell, we've seen a ton of shows ton of movies and stuff over the last 20 years or so. And of course, he was so big on SNL and so forth. But there was a couple movies I really enjoyed him in and thought that he was super funny in. And of course, one of those films is the awesome Robert Duvall film, along with Josh Hutcherson as well. And that is Kicking and Screaming, where he plays a dad and he starts to coach his kids' soccer team. And that movie was just super hilarious. It was Will Ferrell to the T, and it was just super stinking funny. I absolutely love that movie, and I crack up at every scene in that film, especially when he gets addicted to coffee in the film. That was probably one of the funniest scenes in the whole movie. Just super funny. Another awesome film that Will Ferrell was in was another film with Zach Galifianakis, which was called The Campaign. Now, this movie, me and my girlfriend, have to watch it like every month or so because it's just so stinking hilarious and funny. We absolutely love this movie. It was just so stinking funny. There's so many good one-liners in it, and just Will Ferrell was Will Ferrell in it, and he was just so perfect. Really amazing film. One of the best comedy, films around from 2012, and just super hilarious. And we absolutely love that film. But in Daddy's Home 2, Will Ferrell brought once again his same character that is so super funny. Him getting emotional in the film is just so stinking hilarious, and I laugh so hard at it. And he just brought even more emotion to this film and made that character even better than the first film. And Will Ferrell's just amazing. I absolutely love the guy. And he was pitch perfect in this film and was a real delight. Especially his connection with John Lithgow in the film was so amazing too. Loved it. Super hilarious and just really well done characterization again. We also have in the film another awesome comedy and also just great dramatic actor, and that's Mr. John Lithgow. Now, John Lithgow, of course, we know from a ton of great movies and shows. Of course, we know him from Third Rock from the Sun as Dick Solomon, and of course, we knew him in the 4th season of Dexter as well. But a couple movies I really enjoyed him in and think that are just really good films are such films as the 1992 film Raising Cain, which was a really good film. Super scary, like thriller / scary, almost similar to reality type of character. And he just was so superb in that with Lolita Davidovich. He was just so awesome, and that's such a great film. Another great film that John Lithgow was in that I really enjoyed, awesome 1986 film that started just a great cast and just so funny and just a wonderful family film, and that is the film Harry and the Hendersons. And that's just an all-around great film, especially if you're a big 80s geek or if you grew up in the 80s. Harry and the Hendersons was one of those films that you watched and that was a part of your childhood. And that movie was just so amazing. John Lithgow was that movie. And without him, I don't think that movie would have been as good. And he was such a pleasure in that film. And I always enjoy watching John. He's just so amazing. But in Daddy's Home 2, he brought such a great dad character to Will Ferrell's character and just made the film so enjoyable. He was amazing. He was the perfect person to cast as that character. He was so stinking funny and hilarious. Absolutely love his character, and it was super funny. Just a lot of great talent, and he just did an amazing job playing the father of Will Ferrell's character, and he brought a great essence to the film and made it a complete whole and just was great with everyone he worked with. We also have in the film another great action star, and also can do some comedy roles, which I think he does well in too as well. And that's Mr. Mel Gibson. Now, he comes in as plays Mark Wahlberg's dad, and I thought that was a great addition to the film as well. Now, Mel Gibson we know from such films as, of course, the Lethal Weapon franchise. We know him from Braveheart, for directing and starring in it, and so forth. But a couple films I really enjoyed him in and that were some of his best films were such films as the 2007 film Edge of Darkness, which was a really amazing film. So beautifully directed by Martin Campbell. It just was a really amazing film. And Mel Gibson was amazing to the T. He just was so super cool in it. And he was just awesome. It was just a really well done film. Another great film that Mel Gibson was in that I absolutely love and adore, and I watched it religiously for like a month straight because I just absolutely loved the movie. And that's the 2000 film, The Patriot. Also starring the late, great Heath Ledger as well. And that movie is just one of the best wartime films I've ever seen in my life. I just think it's one of the best and just so well directed by Roland Emmerich. And just everyone involved was so amazing in it. It was so realistic. It was so well created. And everyone in it was just amazing. Now, Mel Gibson in Daddy's Home 2 was really funny. And he was a great joy to see kind of the antagonistic type of father trying to get the two co-dads to be against each other. And he was super funny and hilarious in it, and just was that perfect kind of character, and he played it to the T. He was a really great addition to the film, and I really enjoyed that they picked him for that character, because he did such a fun and amazing job, and he was really fun to watch in it. I really enjoyed him. Now, to round out this awesome cast, we have the awesome and beautiful Miss Linda Cardellini. Now, Linda Cardellini we've recognized recently in such films as the Avengers, Age of Ultron film as Hawkeye's wife, and we've also seen her in some other recent films. We also recognize her from, the first Lethal or Legally Blonde films, too. But there's a couple films I really enjoyed her in and thought she was really super funny and just fun. And that, of course, to start off with, is the awesome Scooby-Doo live-action film, Scooby-Doo the Movie. And she was just really awesome. I love her as Velma. I thought she did a great job. The Jinkies talk, and just her look was really well done, too, as well. There's a couple scenes in the second film where it's so stinking funny, where she's wearing that tight leather outfit. She was so superb. And I just think she's a great comedian, and that everything I see her in when she does comedy roles, I think she's just awesome. And I really enjoyed her in the Scooby-Doo movies. Another great film that she was in, also with the great Alan Covert, was the awesome video game type of film that's about making video games, and that's the film Grandma's Boy, which was a really fun and awesome film, and she was great in that too. I really loved her in that. That's probably one of my favorite roles of her of all time, and she was just super awesome and amazing in it, and just a real pleasure to watch and so funny. Now in Daddy's Home 2, she of course plays Will Ferrell's wife again, and the ex-wife of Mark Wahlberg, and she just is super funny, and I love that they gave her more screen time in this one. It was really fun to see her more, and she was just super funny in this one, and some of the scenes where she does in the film were just super hilarious and so well crafted, and just showed the talent of Sean Anders and how well he can make a comedy film. She was just so superb, and I really enjoyed her in it, and she was a great addition to the film again, and really rounded out the cast. Now, if you're not familiar with what Daddy's Home 2 is about, basically this time around what happens is both Mark Wahlberg's and Will Ferrell's dads are coming for Christmas, and basically it's about the antics that all are involved between the two dads and the two Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell's character, and basically them trying to not kill each other and to try to get along and have a great Christmas, basically. And it was just a really well done film. Super hilarious, super fun, all around really well done. And Sean Anders did an amazing job again, and made this film very, very funny. And it was just a pleasure to watch. Really funny. Giant 10 golden movie boxes up on this one too as well. I just think it was so great. I really enjoyed it. Looking very much to adding it to my collection, along with 3 Billboards. And it's just a fun, awesome film. You don't have to think about it or anything, and you had great cameos by John Cena and a Victoria's Secret model in it, and the kids were fun again too. It's an all-around fun film, and if you're looking for true entertainment, that's what this is. It's not going to win any awards or anything, but it's so awesome. I absolutely enjoyed it. Very, very pleasurable. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, and also thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss one of these awesome videos, or any of the videos I make. And always, keep your eyes out for any older, newer videos you might not have seen mine yet. And always, please check that link down below about the awesome horror pack. Now, the horror pack is an awesome subscription service that comes right to your door of either 4 DVDs or 4 Blu-rays of awesome horror goodness. And also, each box comes with a limited edition that you can only get through the Awesome Horror Pack. So if you try to find this movie anywhere else, you're not going to find it. It's only through the Awesome Horror Pack that you can find these awesome limited editions. And as always, if you're interested in signing up, or if you are going to sign up, let me know down in the comments so I can hook you up with an awesome discount on your first month. What are you waiting for? Check it out, people. It's really worth it. And as always, catch you in the next one.